Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this birthday card. It's actually a squash card, and that means you've had to squash it to close it. Nothing more difficult than that. So undo the ribbon and open up, and inside you have that there. Isn't that lovely? So easy to make. There are several videos on YouTube to make this, but I couldn't actually find one that showed what to do with the ribbon, how to tie this. You can use a belly band. The only thing I would suggest is, if you do a belly band, don't have anything on here that's on dimensionals, otherwise you'll have struggle moving the belly band up and down. So whatever you want here, try and get that onto the belly band. So as the belly band goes, so does that. But I quite liked the idea that with the ribbon, but this one wasn't a good idea because I had to punch holes. I left it until after I'd made the card because I wasn't quite sure how everything fitted together. So I punched a hole back and front, but it meant on the other side there was a knot where I had to tie the ribbon to stop it coming through. So what I did was I put these little seals over the end of the ribbons, which I like the seals, but I don't really think that does my card any favours at all, not like that. So I tried a second card. Now this is a design we're doing in the video, okay? This one, I did the tie here, but that didn't really work because when you have got this closed like this, although it closes that nicely, you've got quite a big gap there. Whereas with this one, when you've got it closed here, you've only got a little bit and a little bit. So what I'm going to do for the video is this design, different colour with the ribbon coming down here. So it should be my first card that I say, yes, that's lovely. So inside this, I will just show you the inside. I will put pictures of this one on my blog. Okay, so that's what the inside looks like. And I will put the details of the stamp sets and everything that I've used. But there's just too much involved with stamping, and there's a bit of fussy cutting there and what have you, so it just adds a lot of time onto the video. So I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to start off with the card pieces that you're going to be needing. My card base is going to be Lemon Lime Twist, and this should measure, a bit wonky here aren't I? This should measure 8 1/4 inches by 8 1/4 inches, which is 21 by 21 centimetres. If you're using A4, and that is meant to be 8 1/4 inches across, do check the actual measurement, because I find that mine is a bit over. It's less than an extra 1/16 of an inch, but unless you put the same on the other side, this isn't going to fold up properly. So just make sure that is 8 1/4. And also, if you're in the US, you're using what we call letter size, you can do yours at 8 1/2 by 8 1/2, and then when I score at 4 1/8, you can score at 4 1/4. But you need to work out what measurements you need for the layers. Right, so after this piece, you need 4 pieces of Whisper White, which measure 4 inches by 4 inches, which is 10.2 by 10.2 centimetres. And then 4 pieces of Designer Series paper. You want 2 contrast pieces, one that's not busy and one that could be as busy as you like. And they should measure 3 7/8 inches by 3 7/8 inches, which is 9.9 by 9.9 centimetres. And then you need a scrap for the flowers and the sentiments and all the bits like that. So we're going to start off by doing our scoring. I use my scoreboard. If you prefer to use your trimmer, you can do. So it doesn't matter which way you put your cardstock in because it's a square. And we are going to score the 8 1/4 is going to score at 4 1/8 inches, which is 10.5 centimetres. As I say, if you're using US sizes and you're doing 8 1/2, you need to do 4 1/4. Okay, otherwise you're 4 inches, 4 1/8 inches, and then you turn your cardstock 90 degrees and do 4 1/8 inches again, which is 10.5 centimetres. Now I'm going to turn this sideways so that you can see what I'm doing. Right, can you see? Yes, you can. Right, now this line here is my 6-inch line. If you're using a trimmer, you just put your points in your cutting track, one at the top, one at the bottom, so nice and easy for you. But if you've got a scoreboard, hopefully you've marked one of your lines, like I've marked my 6-inch line. So I'm putting 1 point up here, 1 point down there, making sure they're right in there, and I'm going to score from one end to the other end. It feels funny doing it sideways. There we go. Okay, so you can see I've got 1 straight line, 2 straight lines and a diagonal line. That's all you need to do. This card really is so easy to do, and it's such a fun card to do. Right, so I am going to fold this in half, making sure my corners line up with each other. Use my bone folder to get myself a good burnish. Open that and fold it the other direction on straight lines. Burnish. And now that I've got it like that, I'm going to turn that over and I'm going to fold on my diagonal line, make sure this point lines up with this point. Ooh, pencil mark. Now if you've cut off that little bit of extra, if you're using an A4 sheet, that should measure up beautifully. Right, now that you've got it like that, turn it back over again so you've got the mounting on the diagonal fold. And what should happen is you can fold this like this, and that is your squash card. Okay, so give that another burnish just to make sure it's nicely creased there. Turn it over that one and that one, and if you want to do this one, you have to do it from putting your bone folder inside. Okay, right, if you find that it hasn't quite lined up, that's unusual, choose whichever side you think looks best for the front side. So what I like to do with my card is, with my front nice and straight like that, I like it so that when it opens, this is straight as well. Okay, and also on the back, oh no, not that one, where's my other one gone? This one. On the back, if it's a directional pattern, I like to make sure that that's the right way round. Okay, so this is going to be my front, so that I'm going to open up like that. I'm going to start working on this one, so I'm opening the rest of that so that I've got that nice and flat. Now the first thing I want to do is my ribbon, and I'm going to use my snail. The ribbon I'm using is the ombre ribbon in Lemon Lime Twist. how much did I do earlier on? Because I thought I took too much. Did I take 10 inches? 8 inches. I'm going to do 9 inches. I'm a coward. Right, let's do. You want 2 pieces that are 9 inches. Now all I know is I want my ribbon quite low, so I'm going to say I'm going to do it half an inch up. I'm not going to actually measure it, I'm just going to think, well yeah, that's about half an inch. Oh, try putting that up the right way. Okay. So let me just measure this against here. Can you see me this low? Yes. Okay, so you can see that I'm lining my ribbon up there. It was actually on virtually on half an inch. Look at that. Right, now before I go round to the other side, I'm going to put my Whisper White and that sheet on there. I'm going to use Tombow. Let me use my silicone mat just in case I get messy. And tweezers. And then I'm going to pop this over the ribbon. I hope this works. Otherwise it'll be a first, won't it? Made a video with a project that doesn't work out. Right, there we go. So you should have about 1/8 of an inch gap all the way around. Now, the other piece I need the ribbon on. Okay, so that's going to be my front. So I want it there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my ribbon over, and with my pencil I'm going in a little way and I'm drawing 2 pencil marks either side. So when I open this up, I find that my ribbon needs to be on that side down. Okay, which was, it floored me a bit because I thought that one's there and that's opposite. I thought it was going to come over there, but not. Okay, so that one's there. I want it to be there. And likewise, if you've got a directional pattern, you've got to make sure that it's like this. Close your card before you actually put it on, just to make sure. Okay, so let's turn this around this way. So I'm going to put some snail there, using it up the right way. Now I know if I put it, oh hold on, I got ombre ribbon. Oh, didn't think about that, did I? Got the white up at the top. Okay, so it's got to go that way. Right, okay, so I know that if I put my ribbon in between those pencil marks, I'm going to be straight. So now I'm going to put my layers on that one. Now this I don't think is directional. I think the one that I've used on the front is, but that's such a quite a plain pattern, I don't think it would notice too much. Obviously the mushrooms would have done. I'm not worried about trying to remove those pencil marks. Oh, there we go. So that is how my card is going to be working. Okay, so I've got a little gap there and a little gap there. So that's not bad at all. Yep, I think I'll be happy with that. So can we put the next two pieces in? Yes, we can. Right, that's the right way. So put that one, and that's the right way. So on this one, I'm going to put the plainer design. Yes, that is directional, definitely. Let's bring my silicone mat back again. This is a nice design as well, but it's more Christmas, I think. Oh, by the way, that number there, that's the number for my hostess code for March 2019. So if you shop in my online shop, please remember to quote that number so that I can send you some free product at the end of the month. Well, it'll be the beginning of April actually, but it will still be free product. Let me just double check that. And then the other one up there. It's not directional, so it doesn't matter which way I do it. So then we can get on with the fun bit of stamping. The product that I'm using, by the way, the designer series paper is called Painted Seasons, and it's available as a free gift during celebration, which finishes on 31st of March. The stamp set that I'll be using is available as a free gift. Yep, the stamp set. And you can either get the designer series paper on its own as a level 1 gift, or you can get the stamp set and the designer series paper as a level 2 gift. And if that's not enough, also during March, there's a set of framelits to go with it as well, which you can purchase. And I have to say, this set is brilliant. Absolutely superb. I got to the stage where I keep thinking to myself, maybe I ought to keep using it, because I've just used it so much. But then I find it easy to use. There we go. So that's all my card put together. I just need to decorate it now. Alright, so it's that, and then inside. So if I move this to one side, this is what I need for my stamping. Let me just show you the stamp set. I've told you about it. Okay, so this is the flower that I'm going to be using now, and this is the leaves. That's the design that was on the back, the pine cone, and that flower was the one that I used there. And I want to show you something about that, because when you stamp it, it just comes up that colour, but when you see it in here, it's all got the brown centre. So I just want to show you how I do that. I've stamped one flower in advance so that I can do that. The Happy Birthday I've used is from All That You Are. I just particularly like that font. The die set that goes with the Painted Seasons is called 4 Seasons. So that's the one I'm using. And that, with the leaves, you actually get 2 dies. So that's for the other flower. That's for the pine cone. And they are more leaves. This is what we're using, this one. Okay, so it's a lovely set. I'll also be using, out of the stitched shaped framelits, the largest oval. That's going to be for the bit inside the card where you can write your greeting. And the Happy Birthday I'm going to die cut using the one that I call the odd one out from Rectangle Stitched Framelits. So let's do the Happy Birthday first, and for that I'm using Early Espresso. Just leave enough room to do the die cutting. I have all my flowers and my leaves ready, but as always I will do one of each with you. So this is Lemon Lime Twist for the flower. That's gorgeous. And then Call Me Clover for the leaves. And this stamp set is one of the distinctive. It's a special process that Stampin' Up have copyrighted, because it gives you all of the detail there. Isn't it gorgeous? One stamp and that's it, it's all done. I have to say I wasn't sure whether the lemon lime twist was going to go with the Call Me Clover, but I thought it's got to, because it's done it on there. Right, so now I'm going to get my Big Shot up, but first of all let me just separate these. Right, so I'm just using my magnetic platform, and I also need more Whisper White to do one of those. So let's push that right the way through. And the flower. Right. It's either this side or that side, I believe. I haven't quite... Oh Oh, maybe I have sussed it. And the leaf, I only need one of the dies because I'm only doing one with you. If you're new to my videos, I often say that if you find your die jumps like that one did, move your cardstock to follow the die. Don't try and make the die go where you want it to, because it won't. Right, now this isn't actually straight on it. Oh, that's unusual. They don't normally jump. Now, is that straight? I think I better tip that just to make sure. That looks alright. That needs to go up slightly. Oops, not that much. Yep, right, that's the one that I'm most concerned about. I think that's alright. We'll go with it. In fact, I should really have done a spare one, just in case I messed it up. There we go. Right, so let's see what we've done. Concern about that is it straight? That looks straight to me. And put the die up there, the flower. Yep, that looks okay. Oops, come back. The leaf. Well, we've got plenty of these anyway, so if I haven't. Oh, that's not bad, not bad. And this has got to be perfect, hasn't it? There we go. So all we need to do now is put our card together. As I say, I've got all my bits ready. So if I can just reach this over. Right, this is the flower we're not going to be using, but I want to show you how I do the inside of it to get that brown. Okay, because it's not solid. Alright, so what I do, let me just bring you down a little bit. Okay, that should be close enough. I use my early espresso Stampin' Right marker, and on the sides here, on the outside of this lighter bit, I just go round and do little straight lines, and I just keep going round until I have more or less covered up, so I don't have any gaps in between, but hopefully the outside edge is what I can only describe as a bit jagged. You know, otherwise I might as well just draw a line round, which is not the effect that I wanted. So just keep on doing it until that's more or less all coloured in, and then I just do straight lines in the centre bits, some going this way, some going that way, just so that it looks uneven and we're leaving some green bits exposed. Right, now remember that you are already very close. You see that? I've got little spare bits of the green popping through. Okay, so that's what I do when I'm using that flower, which I'm not at the moment. So let me zoom you out again. Right. So on the, what do I do with my card? This is the front of my card. So what I'm planning to do is I'm going to have 2 flowers. These have already got their dimensionals on. And the leaves, I can't bring the leaves over yet because I've already put the taken the backings off. So how did I do this? Let me just check my design. Oh, so that was more or less in the middle there. Okay, so let's put some dimensionals on this. Oops, oops. That's one of my dies on the floor. I must just pick that up before I forget that it's down there. There we go. Right. Right, tweezers. That wasn't clever, was it? Right. And this one, I'm going to put that about in the centre, but more towards this side, which I think is probably about right, as long as it's straight. Yep, that's fine. And then I'm going to put 2 of these. One I'm going to slide underneath and one I'm going to have over the top. I don't know if you noticed that that's what I've done with this. Okay, that one's slid underneath there and this one is over the top. And I haven't worked out whether there's a right or wrong way to have this flower up. So let's put that like that so it's covering up there slightly. In advance I put the dimensionals on, but I've tended to put them all in the centre so that it's not going to interfere when I'm trying to get around here. But it does mean that afterwards I will probably check to see if these need any little dimensionals. Right, let's do this different, shall we? I think that's that one there, isn't it? Okay, let's do it about there then. Oh, we did this one under, hold on. Do we still want this under? Because these flowers are quite a bit smaller than the other ones. And I'd put one of them underneath because it was like overpowering, if you like. I wonder if a third one would look good. That's a bit overpowering, I think, isn't it? Oh, there we go, that's all right. Right, now we got 3 of the leaves. As I say, I've already taken all the backings off, but just to show you how I do my dimensionals, I just use the edges of the strips along here and I just cut little slices. It's brilliant for something like this. Right, where else did I put these? 2 on this side. I do wonder if maybe I should put one here. No, I'd have to put it, it's going to come too far over. I don't know. Let's see what the other one would look like as well. I think I quite like it like that. But I've got a dimensional there that I don't want. I wonder if I can pull it off. It's virtually off. That's better. Yes, much better. Oh, that's all right. I like that. Needs some bling though. Right, so inside the card, again, just make sure that I'm opening this up correctly in here. So I'm going to have this, my flower. In fact, I could have two flowers on this one, couldn't I? Because I have them. And then, what did I do inside here? One flower with two. Let's bring this down a bit. Because I have got another one here. Well, that's what it would be like if there was just one. That's what it would be like if there was two. I think it needs two. Who agrees with me? Right, let's do... Now these have got to be stuck right down. I don't use dimensionals inside my cards. So let's pop this one down first. So I'm making that come right to the edge there, and therefore I know it will be alright. Then I'm going to pop that on there, whichever way round. Oh, I haven't stuck that down. Silly. My goodness, you are daft. Right, let's try putting this one down. You're all shouting at me, I'm sure. Put a little bit more back there. You just hold that up to make sure I've got it straight. I think that's all right. Right, so now put the flower there, and that can go there. Okay, so let's remember, where are you? That point there, the tip. Okay. That's it, going level with that. So now the flower we can have there. Well, I'm pleased to see that the lemon lime twist and the call me clover do go together nicely. Just make sure that I leave enough room here for the greeting. So that can come right down there, and this one around this side, I think. Although, I wonder if it should go up that way. No, it's that way, isn't it? Right, about centre there. Could really cut the stalks off of these, don't really need them, stems, not stalks. That's it. Brilliant. Okay, that's it, sorted. You could always decorate the other sides with butterflies and things like that if you wanted. There we go. Okay, butterflies on here, or you could do something on that one. Right, so now this is the test. Let's see how this works. I'm going to try tying it upside down, because the others, when I've been trying to do it properly, I found that the bow has been upside down if I have the card the right way up. So let's see what happens this way. And you do need to try and keep the book closed while you're doing your bow. Not easy, considering we want 2 pairs of hands to do a decent bow anyway, let alone one holding that open. What do you... Can you go down that way? Might come down. Oh, not too bad. I will play with this once I've finished. And then I'll cut the bits off as well. Okay, so we have that little bit that's open and that little bit that's open. I think that's okay, don't you? I think I'd much rather have it like that rather than doing a belly band on it. So there we go, that's today's project. Many thanks for joining me. I hope you like this, hope you give it a try. It has certainly been fun for me experimenting with these. Let me just tie this one up. I'm not going to fuss about it, just tie it up. There we go. If you have any questions or any comments to make, please leave them in the box below the video. The box is accessible only if you're watching the video on YouTube. If you would like to purchase any of the products that I featured here today, there'll be a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop in the box below. If you've enjoyed my video and you'd like to be notified each time I upload a new one, please click on the subscribe button, which is down there in the right hand corner, and also click on the bell, which means that you'll get email notification each time I upload a new one. So many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.